Autumn day, even though it's gonna rain. I love autumn. I've always loved autumn. And earlier this year, about 2 weeks ago, I thought to myself, you know, Ron, you haven't been taking very many pictures. So I went into the studio, picked up my old D200, my Nikon D200, and I looked it over and thought, you know, I need to go out and use this old girl. And I did. I came out, put an old lens on it, and came out here and looked around at all the pretty leaves and colors and stuff, and I couldn't get excited about it. I just couldn't. And I figured out the reason I couldn't get excited is because I've taken a million autumn photos over the years, and they all look alike anymore. And I didn't want to take more photos that looked just like one I took in 1999 or something like that. So I went back into the studio, sat down and thought about it. And then I started looking through the menu on the D200, and I came across a little thing that said multiple exposure. And I thought, I haven't used that. I don't know if I ever used that. So let's try it. So I came out here with the tripod and started picking out individual objects, not everything in general, but just individual things. And I started photographing those things using multiple exposure. At first I didn't think I was going to like it, but when I went back into the studio and started looking at those on the computer, I thought, holy cow. I'm amazed. I was really amazed, folks. These are awesome pictures. And I thought I'd share them with you today. And I know, well, at least I hope you think they're kind of amazing too, especially for an old camera and a really old lens. Anyway, that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you these photos. Anyway, so yeah, let's get out of this wind. It's getting kind of breezy out here, so let's go back in the studio and take a look at what I got. You ready? Good. Let's go. All right, let's take a look at these photos that I've been telling you about, you know, that I really like them. Well, I do. This is a couple leaves caught in some branches. It came out pretty good. I wish the lower right-hand corner would have been a little more colorfuler, I guess, but there is some color there. Like I said, you can't control anything on this that I am aware of anyway. Maybe if you did it enough, you would learn how to control some stuff. Anyway, this one came out nice. I like it. There's a little detail in the right-hand leaf. So yeah, the branches are really interesting. This is one that I don't even know how I did it. This leaf was in some, I think that was dead branches, and they had some kind of a mold on them or something, but yeah, that came out amazingly weird. And I'm happy with it. I just wish I knew how it happened. And I like the little, it looks like drops of water. Is that what that is in the upper right-hand corner in those branches? Anyway, nice picture. Here's a photo that I almost didn't include in this group because, you know, the object of interest in the center is not very clear. On all these images, I always put the main subject in this very center of the screen, and that way all the lines and whatever is around it kind of march right towards it, towards the center. Yeah, I like this one. There is some detail up in the upper left. There's some leaves up there. And then branches, you know, you can see the branches. And there's leaves in the lower left too, I guess. The more I look at these, the more I discover. I mean, that they're real interesting that way. This one, I really kind of like this one. This is a pile of birch firewood that I've stacked, and there was one leaf laying on it, and I thought that was kind of cool. And so I photographed it, and turns out the stem of that leaf looks like a bunch of little legs marching away there. It's kind of cool. I like that. You can see the rounds of firewood. They're kind of plain, easily to make out there. And there's that row of leaves on the upper right too, marching away from everything. It's kind of a cool picture. And that sky in the upper left-hand part of it, that's the brightness is from the actual sky. Cool picture. This one, it's again the leaf in the center. It was a red leaf, and I don't know what was around. It looks like bushes of some sort. I don't know. Those are berries there on the lower left. There's some red berries there, so I don't know if... No, that has to be a leaf. That must have been a red leaf laying in the... on the bushes there. I like the red berries, and on the right, there's some water drops marching into the center. When you do double or multiple exposure in the camera, you can after you take however many pictures you have set to take, if you set it for 5, if you take 5 pictures, it takes a few moments before the camera to present you with the finished image. And so don't worry about it. It takes a little bit. The screen will be blank for just a little bit after you take the image, and then it'll come up. Okay? Let's go to the next one here. This one is a maze of color, amazing color. And that's the reason I put it in with this group, because, wow, there's just so many colors. And now, when I edited these photos, I did them all in RAW. It's all, it was a RAW image. And I just did real quick editing. I mean, I don't think on any of them, I spent more than 2 to 3 minutes editing. I mean, it was just really quick. I corrected the color sometimes a little bit and the exposure, and that's about it. It was just really easy to do. This one, I couldn't tell you what that red in the center is supposed to be. Probably a leaf, I guess. But I couldn't tell you because I took a lot of different photos and I can't remember what each one was. But anyway, I like the colors in this one. Next up, this is a cute little picture. And my wife really likes this one. She likes the colors and the way that little leaf is just centered up in the very center of the image. And it is. She said it looks like some kind of cloth. That's what she thought it looked like, the outside edges, around the leaf. It looks like Persian cloth or something like that. But it's a cool picture. And of course, there's those other little leaves marching towards it in the upper right. Just cool. Now, in this one, if you look in the very center, you'll see a little yellow leaf. That's what I focused on there. But holy cow, look at the color there. And you can see detail. There's leaves. I see leaves in the upper right corner, and around the middle on the left. There's just leaves everywhere marching right towards that center spot. Perfect. It's amazing, actually. I love these photos so much. And the branches there on the middle left, there are branches marching away. It's just cool. I love it. This is one of my favorites right here. The center is a leaf. And it's a lot bigger than it actually was because there's several images that make it bigger. It just grows in length there. But my favorite part of this photo is the branches on the upper left. It looks like a fence. It just really is cool. I love that part of it. And then right above it is those leaves that are in pretty sharp focus, actually. Those 3 or no, it's one leaf, but it looks like more. Just cool. And the light parts and the dark parts. Yeah, it's a cool picture. Anyway, it's fun to do. You need to try this. Up next, we have another one. My wife looked at these last night. She said, that looks like some kind of an insect. And I thought, yeah, you're probably right. But what it is, it's a leaf that's been eaten by bugs. You can see in the center left, at the edges of the leaf have been chewed away. So yeah, it's just one leaf. This is one leaf, and it's really been eaten. And I love the grasses, the stems of grass. It just, wow. And the branches above there that are just marching right towards the center, and that's right. They've been eaten too. So it's just when you do this multiple exposure with a zoom lens, it's just amazing to me. Crazy. It's got me excited again. Okay, these are berries in the very center, and they look like liquid, but they're not. They just look like liquid. You can see on the bottom, those are water drops there. Pretty amazing. And they go from small to large. Gosh. And you can see some leaves. They're on the middle left. My wife liked this one too. I thought it was kind of plain, but she really liked it. She likes in the upper right, it looks like drops of water, but I'm not sure if that's really what it is, but it looks like water, on the leaf. So, and then of course the bright spot is the sky. I was shooting a little up. Looks like this was in front of a tree branch, actually. It's amazing that you never can tell what you're going to get at all. This is a pretty one. I like the greens. I like the greens there a lot. It just is so nice. There's just, there's some detail to see, but the splotch is green. And I think that's one leaf, or maybe two. I don't know what that was actually. But it looks like it's surrounded by a tube of something. Something or rather is surrounding it. We'll just let it go at that. Interesting picture. Now this one really has no detail on the center. I think it's probably a leaf. I'm pretty sure it is. But you can see the fir branches, spruce tree branches. You can see the needles on those in there. And again, it just surrounded by color. This is the final one. I took all the rest on one day, and then I went out early the next morning and I saw an interesting composition, and I went back in and got my camera. So in the center, those are mushrooms, I believe. If you look close, you can see they're real detailed. I mean, the detail is just amazing on them, and the sun was shining on them. That's why I went running back in and get my camera real quick. The sun was shining right on them. There was a group of, actually there shows 3 here, but there was actually several of them. How they grow up in groups in the grass, and then you got the grass all around it. Look how sharp those in the upper right-hand corner. Look how sharp that leaf of grass is. There is just amazing. Well, I hope you enjoyed looking at those pictures as much as I enjoyed showing them to you. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll be glad to answer them. And hey guys, thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. I will see you next time. Well, she's waiting for me. I guess I better get back at it. You guys have a good day.